Episode 1 of Season 2, Going Deeper. Customization versus configuration. It's the one distinction that predicts whether an ERP project succeeds or fails. Six pieces to this one. What configuration is. What customization is. Why the industry fears too much of the second. The fuzzy line between them. When customizing is right. And the modern answer. Let's start with configuration, because it's the one people tend to underestimate. Configuration is changing the behavior of an ERP system without writing any new code. Every serious ERP ships with thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of switches, toggles, and parameters. You configure the system by setting those values. Your chart of accounts, your company codes and the currencies they use. Tolerance rules that auto-approve matched invoices. Approval workflows, payment terms, tax codes for each jurisdiction you operate in. All of it is flipping switches the vendor already installed. Customization is different. Customization is what happens when you change an ERP's behavior by writing new code that didn't exist in the shipped product. SAP projects write ABAP. Oracle projects write PLSQL or Java. Salesforce writes Apex. NetSuite writes SuiteScript. Every ERP has an in-system programming model. Customization is what happens when someone sits down and writes code in it. A custom report. A sales order screen with your industry-specific fields. A custom approval workflow. In extreme cases, a whole custom module. Customization is powerful, and that power comes with costs. Every senior ERP person, given half a chance, has a horror story about a customer who customized too much. The stories share a shape. A company buys an ERP. The implementation partner asks, "How do you do things today?" And, rather than pushing back, agrees to replicate exactly how things are done in code. Every quirk, every exception, "we've always done it this way" gets coded up on top of the standard software. Then three things happen. The upgrade bill arrives. Every customization has to be rewritten against a moved standard. Support becomes impossible. When the vendor sees custom code, they shrug. And the best practices get buried. New staff can't use their industry knowledge because the system no longer behaves like the textbook. In theory, the line between configuration and customization is sharp. In practice, it's fuzzier. User exits, enhancement points, places where the vendor left hooks. Put your custom logic here if you need to. Custom fields, workflow engines, form and report designers. Power users doing things that look like configuration, but run surprisingly complex logic. The test that matters is this: does it survive the upgrade? If yes, and the vendor designed the mechanism for it, you're safe, regardless of the label. Despite the preference for vanilla, there are real cases where customization is the right call. 1. Your business really is different in a specific, valuable way. Not snowflake different, genuinely different. A pricing model, a manufacturing step, a compliance requirement that's a source of competitive advantage. 2. A regulatory requirement the vendor hasn't caught up to. A local rule drops. The next release is 18 months out. Customize to bridge. 3. Integration with a legacy you can't replace yet. No standard interface exists. You code the bridge, knowing it's temporary. The biggest shift of the last decade, the industry has moved away from in-system customization entirely. The modern answer is extensions. Instead of writing custom code inside the ERP's core, you write it in a separate environment that talks to the ERP through stable APIs. SAP calls this the clean core approach. Oracle, Microsoft, Salesforce, each has their own version of the same idea. Core upgrades don't touch the extension. The extension can be written in a modern language. And if you ever switch ERPs, it's far more portable than on-platform code ever was. Pull it all together. This is why configuration versus customization predicts project outcomes. Lean on configuration, and the project finishes on time. Staff feel at home. Each new release delivers value automatically. Lean on customization, because we've always done it this way, drove the design, and you pay for the same implementation twice when the next upgrade arrives. The useful question in any ERP conversation is this configuration or customization? Quick recap. Configuration, flipping switches the vendor installed. Safe, durable, survives upgrades. Customization, writing code that didn't exist before. Powerful, expensive over time. Vanilla is the preference. Extensions are the modern answer. The question that predicts success: is this configuration or customization? That's episode 1 of season 2. Episode 2 goes to the layer underneath master data versus transactional data. Different data types, different rules, different failure modes when they go wrong. See you there.